So, are you tired of copying or copy pasting the same code? Now, here's a time to break that cycle with Java methods. Okay, so today we'll be learning about methods, aka Java's way of grouping code into reusable blocks. So it's the same as saying Java functions, but we do not call it functions, but we call it methods. Okay, so now here's a question: what is a method? Okay, so what is a method? Now, a method is a reusable block of code. It's like giving your code a name so you can run it whenever you want, like pressing play on a track. So a method is a reusable block of code. Think about a method like a factory. Now, this factory, whenever you go there, the factory is always there. It's always going to work for you. It's always going to run for you. Now, think about the factory this way. Now, you go there and you turn the factory on. So when you turn the factory on, you actually make the factory to work. Okay, so now the factory starts working, and when the factory starts working, you start seeing um your lights turn on, your machines turn on, and also different things in the factory unit turns on. So next up is, okay, so the machines turn on and everything starts working. So now, next up, you go to the factory and you ask the factory, okay, so let's say this is a factory that produces robots. So you ask the factory, okay, I want to produce a robot. Now, the factory, or the workers in the factory, or you as a worker, maybe you go to the machine, okay, I want to produce robots today, and I start gathering the parts and I put it into the different machines in the factory, and at the end, I come out with a single product known as the robot. Okay, and I've gotten my robot. Now, the advantage of a factory is that I could come here again tomorrow and come here and recall this thing that I, okay, today I want to produce 50 robots, and just turn the factory on and input the materials, and again I come out with a robot. So that is how I keep repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating. When the consumers keep asking for robots, I keep repeating in my factory, and that is how I get more and more robots. So that is what a method is. So a method is being called over and over and over and over and over and over till the user is satisfied. So you can find methods in maybe submitting an application request. So you're not the only one calling that method. Other people are calling the method. So if 500 people are applying for a job interview, 500 people get to call the method and the application gets submitted. I hope you understand that analogy. Now, what is a basic method example? Here is a basic method example. Now, this is called a method. How do we know? Now, if you look at declaring methods in JavaScript, it's different from declaring methods, or sorry, functions in, declaring method in Java is different from declaring functions in JavaScript, and also different from declaring functions in Python. Python, we actually have a keyword known as def, which helps us to differentiate. Okay, in Java, we actually use the function keyword. Now, in JavaScript, sorry, in Java, now we use nothing relating to anything suggesting this is a function. So that is why it's known as a method. Now, example is this following code, public static void. Now notice, initially, after writing the public class, we declare one function or one method, sorry, known as public static void. Then now we just want to give it a one definition, a single definition of greet. So that's how to write a method. Now we say system.out blah blah blah, hello my guy. Okay, the second one is the normal one, the regular one we have. Now inside the regular function in our main closure, we now say strings, then we call the function above there as greet. So notice the first one is a method to greet. I don't know why I keep mentioning functions. So the first one is a method known as greet, which is the method name. The second is your public static void. Don't stress, we'll explain this later. Then the third is you can call it as many times as you like inside the public static void. So let's keep rolling. Why are methods used? Methods makes your code cleaner. They avoid repetition, or they help us to avoid repetition, easier to debug and test, more reliable, like chapters in a book. Okay, so here's a mini challenge for you. Seeing the initial code, seeing this initial code right here of hello, this hello my guy, and this is how to call it to greet. So note that your method is going to be written above your method for um calling the method. Okay, so it's going to be written, so just calling it method seems a bit confusing, but you'll get used to it. So now in your challenge, all you have to do is make your own method that prints your name and favorite language and calls it 3 times. Okay, so pause the video right here and do it. Okay, if you weren't able to do it, or you were able to do it on your first try, or your multiple tries, or you had to use an AI, that's fine. Now let's go to our IntelliJ IDE. Okay, now in our IntelliJ IDE, we just have to create a new file under here saying methods. And notice method is not a keyword in JavaScript. So I could name this method. So if it were to be a keyword, I couldn't name this file method. So now notice you declare your method at the initial stage of code. So now our challenge is to make it that prints your name and favorite language. Language here is not actually what you speak, but language you use to code. Okay, so when you start programming, you start thinking like a programmer and no longer like a regular person. So now let's say public static, and note what's the difference here between this and our regular function. So now we're saying public static void, and we're saying greet. So instead of writing that main whatever, now this is our own personal function or method. Sorry, I don't know why I keep saying function. So this is our own personal method. Now we're going to say system. Okay, we're just going to greet the word hello world. The next, we're going to call this function in our public static void whatever, which is our main function. And we're going to call this sorry, I'm just trying to check something. Okay, okay, where is it? uh, Method. Okay, okay, so now let's say greet. So this is how we call a function. Okay, now this, we've called this function. Now, are we expecting it to call 5 times? No. What we could do is copy this and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now we could say this. Note you can also have them in line like this and they will still work. Okay. But this is weird. This doesn't show you're learning anything. So remember we talked about the for loop. Now we could say for. Now let's initialize something. I equals to 1. Okay. So I equals to 1. I is less than. So we want to print this 5 times. Okay. So for I is equal to 1. Now I is less than or equal to 5. I plus plus. So what we want to do is say great. Now it shows you are learning something, and when we print to the console, we get exactly the same thing 5 times. So please do it to play with whatever you've learned so that you'll be able to become a pro and not just be stuck in the beginner or the intermediate level. Learn to think wide. Okay. All right. So congratulations if you're able to finish that with me. So that's it for your first taste of Java method. Next up, we'll learn how to pass data into methods so that you can actually do cool stuff. That's when we're going to discuss what those strings and args in our public static void main means. Okay, so please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and type hashtag Java methods in the comments if you're still vibing. Okay, you can also do this in any social media platform of your choice, and also you can also leave a link to this video in any social media platform of your choice note we're trying to get this channel to at least 1,000 subscribers. And the more you leave a like and a comment, and also if the more you subscribe, the more this video gets recommended to others, so that they can also learn Java for free. And also note, we're not going to be only teaching you Java in this um in this channel. I'm going to be teaching Python. I'm going to be teaching any other programming language. In fact, if we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be teaching a specific programming language requested by any of you out there. So please do it to subscribe to the channel and also like this video so more people can get access to it and watch and learn Java alongside with you. So that's it from me. Peace for now.